ключевые пару мыслей.
Все, дорогой, мы в сети полетели. Pavel Kravchenko, CEO of, I just forgot about which company of CEO you are. Introduce yourself, yes. Yes, Distributed Lab, yeah. Pavel Kravchenko, CEO of. We are on air. The word goes to your side.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Pavel. My background is cryptography, and I've got a PhD degree in this field in 2012. My blockchain career started in 2014, where I joined Stellar in California and worked there. Then I moved to Singapore, worked for another startup, then was Germany, and meanwhile, like I established, co-founded an own company, Distributed Lab, that is doing a lot of R&D in this space for more than 5 years already. So we've done a lot of research, education. We wrote already 5 books. We organized like 25 conferences at least, like dozens of meetups and hackathons. So we've been quite active. And my topic of today is what is the role of blockchain in digital transformation in a country? We all know that blockchain is not just for, moving money or doing some, some simple stuff, but it's rather an approach. It's rather like a tectonic shift in a paradigm how people think. And the core concept here is decentralization, obviously. It's like when people used to like living in hierarchies where they have something at the top, somebody at the bottom, and then communicated like client-server architecture or so. And now the paradigm is shifting towards decentralization, where functions are executed at different places, at different roles, and they all have to like interact. And on the country's level, there will be a lot of changes too. And I've been personally involved in a few government projects. We've been building a POC for Central Bank of Ukraine and for the land registry and other like projects. And from what I see, it's like for centuries, information has been protected by the like brute force. There was a lot of like shields, secrecy, and everything had to be protected, was protected in a way that this was fully intransparent. And then Bitcoin appeared. It showed to everybody in financial industry, not only that, look, you can have a fully transparent system, which everybody can access, and you cannot really come and steal from this system. You see all the Bitcoins, but you can't take them. You cannot add more. It's like it's ruled by the mathematics. And that was the real interesting thing. And a lot of governments like NGOs, they realized that now information can be protected without hiding it, without making some firewalls and putting a lot of administrators and so on and so forth to like secure it. And basically that was the reason why government always said no to open APIs until very recent time. Now these activists have like a reason, actual like the proofs that you can secure information with cryptography and it still can be open. So my point is that there are many areas like public registries and systems that by default are public, right? And they can, information in them can be freely accessible without the risk of compromise of integrity or of, in certain cases, even confidentiality of additional information. Non-repudiation can be protected, and so on and so forth. And government is reacting to a certain extent. And coming to the point, the blockchain will first as a new approach, a paradigm to build government systems on the systems that support citizens, will help to design new applications that are completely more transparent and more flexible. And this is very important because in a blockchain paradigm, all the modules, they can be fully independent, but still operate with each other using like open APIs. And here we come to the point we have to define what is blockchain. And obviously there are a lot of confusion in this space because some people define blockchain as a Bitcoin blockchain, some people define blockchain as Ethereum blockchain or some else, and some their own thing. And this causes a lot of confusion, such as like blockchain is slow, or blockchain is inefficient, or blockchain requires a lot of energy, or and so on and so forth. And basically, instead, we should treat blockchain as a method to store and synchronize data between some participants. And as soon as we have different participants, they wouldn't trust each other 100%. But still, like, they need to verify each other's actions. And that's exactly why blockchain was invented. And just in Bitcoin case, we don't even know how many participants are there, and they all don't trust each other 100% because they're all anonymous. In a simpler cases like enterprise or government, participants know who they are, they trust themselves, others to a certain extent, but still they need automation tools to validate contracts with each other, to send payments, and etc., etc. And this infrastructure is coming. Maybe it will take 5 to 10 years, but it is coming, and it will radically transform how society behaves. So treating blockchain in this way, we are having like cold-minded approach. We're not trying to put everything on blockchain because it's a tool. It's not the means of, it's not the goal. It's just a tool to solve certain problems. And obviously, many approaches failed because in 2017-18 because people thought, okay, what it means to integrate blockchain. It meant for them issuing their own token and sell this token to somebody. And this is just, this is bullshit. So we have to abandon these approaches and just instead create systems that, first of all, employ the principle of open APIs. Second, employ digital identity for each, not only person, but for each device. Then we should treat people and machines as equals, because on the internet, nobody knows that you are the cat. So, and then as soon as you have that, you can move towards transparency of data, or like provable transparency, where you know that certain data hasn't been changed. Maybe it's confidential, it's encrypted, but it hasn't been changed. So as soon as we have these three principles in place, blockchain will be implemented like everywhere in a few years, without even any executive order or the prime minister will push it. No, you just need open APIs, you need digital identity, and you need some regulation that says data should be accessible and registry should be transparent. And the corporate level, it could be that financials are transparent, maybe again encrypted but transparent and cannot be changed. So these three things will radically transform all accounting systems in every country, and will allow third-party developers to come up with applications that are using this data. And they will obviously use them better than any central planning on top that will, like, yeah. So we are coming to the decentralization of processes and data and data synchronization. And that's great because they then like unleash a lot of innovation in this space. So I would say these are the main principles and main steps towards full digital transformation of a country. It's nothing complicated. You don't have to learn smart contracts to implement them. You don't have to even know what is blockchain. You just need to know that open APIs, digital identity, and transparency, and that's it. And developers will figure it out the rest. So
Okay, sure. Yes, Pavel, thanks a lot to you for sharing your ideas, your thoughts with our community, with the people which are watching now, all of us. And I think the best now, our time is finished and we have to say goodbye to you. Maybe just one question or maybe one just the closest words to our audience.
question to an audience.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
I-
no.
I
Yes.
would say, that the question is, how do we prepare all the specialists who understand the
Wow.
principles and like the consequences of implementation of them? And maybe small announcement, we are launching, we have such courses that prepare such specialists for many, like
Okay, perfect. I would direct, if you don't mind, direct that answers on that question to you directly with the audience to have the communication with you. I want to say thanks a lot to you, Pavel. We are going ahead within a half of the hour. Bye. See you a little bit later.
Yeah.